What is up, Earthnoids and Spacenoids? I am just a simple new type, and in this episode, we're returning to Universal Century 0092 and Mobile Suit Moon Gundam. Last time, Jutta and Amuro pushed the Ra Gills out of the Guasha's firing range. Also, Amuro gave Saphira the Regizid. This time, Jutta learns that Minerva and Zeon have committed genocide in the past. The Ra departs from the Ra Gills, and we will meet a retired Zeon soldier named Father. So let's get into this. Amuro and the Ra team continue running exercises with the Ra Gills team. Jutta is distracted, and Amuro doesn't feel comfortable leaving Jutta with the Ra Gills in this state. He has to be better. Amuro tells him that he is relying too much on the psychoplates and not engaging the enemy properly. He is starting to lose it a little. Specifically, he says he hasn't smelled grass or touched the earth in some time. It is getting the best of him. Some of you guys could relate, right? Something, touch grass? I'm getting lazy. Captain Lauro meets with Captain Saphira and Captain Macias. Macias? He is the captain of the Ra. They want to make Jutta a warrant officer and throw him into the system. They also talk about how EFF is ordering the Ra Gills to escort Minerva back to Earth alone with no support. They don't like it. Saphira shows Lauro the data that she recently found out. She shows him a picture of the Psycho Gundam Mark IV G doors. Mari goes to the hangar where many are cleaning the blood of their dead comrades. The techs inform her that Amuro is pushing Jutta, but he is still not in the best of moods. They want Mari to help cheer him up, but after the recent attack, she thinks of him as a savage. Saphira tells the captain about the Psycho Gundam Mark IV G doors, and about the attack that happened 1 year ago. After the attack from the Titan remnants, they never did find the head or the psychoplates during their post-battle investigation. She says they drifted out into space for a year until they hit Moon. Saphira found this information by digging through EFF databases. She says that someone wanted to hide this incident. When it comes to Zeon and Spacenoids, it isn't a stretch for someone to have sympathy for independence in space. People have no issues publicly supporting the cause, even if it's financial support. But when it comes to the Titans, that is an entirely different story. If you are a Titan sympathizer, you aren't going around public claiming to financially back fascism. You don't go around like an idiot with a tiki torch showing your face. You work in the shadows. And someone in EFF is working in the shadows to downplay this incident. Saphira's working theory is that someone from the recently shuttered New Type Labs was desperate, and someone came to them to build something in silence. They took the opportunity. Perhaps that same person that helped finance this new Gundam sent it on its way to do its thing for the Titan remnants. All the while, the same person tips off Londo Bell about the Titan remnants. After Amuro's battle, they found out that all data from the unit has been scrubbed. Someone has this battle data somewhere. The only information they have on this person is the name Enkidu, specifically the phrase, "We've been had by Enkidu. They used us." Captain Macias thinks that it is a reference to the mythical being from Gilgamesh. Now that we know that the psychoplates have honeycomb microchips on them, aka psychoframes, along with knowing where many New Type Lab scientists ends up, we could see that Enkidnu is an anagram for Daikun. We cut to an unknown location where Cassivel Daikun, the financer, and Nanai, the former New Type Lab scientist, are looking up at the prototype Sazabi. We will break down this unit soon. Amuro goes to talk to sad boy Jutta. He is experiencing survivorship guilt and imposter syndrome all in one. One thing he does know is that he wants to help Minerva in any way possible. Amuro tells him that he has to follow his heart. If that means taking Minerva back to Neo Zeon, then that is what he needs to do. But Amuro reminds him that if he makes that choice, they will be enemies. Amuro says in times of war, we tend to want to bear the burdens of others' pain, but in doing so, we blind ourselves from our own pains. It leads you to fight until one day you break. Later, the Ra Gills team and the Ra team say their goodbyes and part ways. The Guasha docks with Moon. Luce wants Captain Gennaro to head to Earth and pursue Minerva Zabi. She thinks that they should focus on repairs to Adalante 3 first, but Luce turns a desire into a direct order and threatens to harm her family, referring to the crew as they call her Mum. A couple of Neo Zeon soldiers enter into the ruins of Moon after the defecting Light Tribe members. They enter and realize that it is reinforced plastic and stumble across a sign that says Kamige Resort. Kamige is a giant amusement park corporation in Universal Century. This colony was originally intended to be nothing more than a giant theme park. As they continue through the tunnel, the doors close behind them and the bulkhead opens. They quickly close their helmets as they get sucked out into space space, where they are met with Renault and the Gaza G. He tells them that if they follow them again, they will die. He throws his spooge all over the soldiers. Wow, that's a lot of spooge. The Light Tribe members relate piloting a mobile suit to mastering the reins of a horse. Ilya Palzom and her Zakus spot the Gaza Gs. She begins chasing them. The Ars Jar Jar is waiting to snipe the Zakus. Meanwhile, Yutta's friends, who actually have names, Kaguna and Mauno, are still trying to figure out the Theta Plus that they stole. Neo Zeon makes it into a colony tunnel where they are met with Kaguna and Mauno. They try to fire some spooge at one of the Gaza Gs, but they unleash a dummy balloon of one of their gods, Lord Gerard. Ha! Their god is a corporate mascot from an entertainment company. Who would ever worship something like that? Anyways, Theta Plus is successful at slowing down their own friends and clogging the pathway. Ilya is confused at what she is looking at when the Ars Jar Jar tries to snipe her. She is able to dodge the beam. The Zaku 4 with Ilya wants to shoot back, but they can't risk hitting the colony. The Light Tribe takes the Neo Zeon pilots. Saki wonders if they should threaten the men or take them as prisoner. Sarasa tells the two pilots to tell Luce Krangle that they will not bend the knee to him or Neo Zeon. She says that there are things more important than life, and they are not afraid of destroying this colony in order to prevent it from getting into the hands of Neo Zeon. The Light Tribe members proceed to push them out into space to drift off. Sarasa don't play. Raymel is informed that the resistance movement is holding their own. She heads into a secret underground room where she looks up at a mysterious ship. The Adalante 3 is still messed up, but Luce is adamant about them pursuing the Ra Gills. Luce says that Gennaro doesn't understand the importance of that Minerva. This causes her to gasp. In a Papua-class ship, we see a mysterious man along with some mobile suits. He prays for all the sacrifices that Gennaro will have to make on this mission. He looks down to a dolphin pendant. In a previous episode, we saw that Gennaro too has the same dolphin pendant. Jutta takes a bite of ice cream for the first time and freaks out. He has never had something so cold or sweet before. Lieutenant Murray says that if you think vanilla is amazing, wait until you try chocolate. Jutta says that he actually has had chocolate before. The Licht family gives it out to the children during the changing of the seasons. It is a gift from the outside world. None of Londo Bell can imagine a life without a fridge. Samesies. Mari grows angry with Jutta and tells him and the rest of the crew to get moving. Wait, Murray and Mari? That's confusing. Saphira briefs Bright about the situation regarding Luce Krangle. Most of the information during Maharaja Khan's reign of Axis were destroyed, so they don't have a lot of data. But it seems the Krangle family was indeed close to both the Zabi family and the Toto family. Of course, we know these royal families were given special treatment, which led to the Nepo baby uprising of the third-generation children of Zeon. People obsessed with bloodline without any history or understanding of why they fight. She tells Bright of the Guasha-class ship. He mentions that during the first Neo-Zeon War, during the rebellion, there was an unknown ship that was aiding both Haman's faction and Glimmy's faction. This ship suddenly vanished. When Bright went to capture Minerva, they found out she was a double. Bright assumes this ship may be the one that ran off with Minerva after the fall of Haman's Neo-Zeon. If Luce wants Minerva, then he is planning something big. Mari gives Jutta a uniform to wear and informs him that this situation is all temporary. Once they hand over Minerva, they will also hand over Jutta and he will get pushed through the EFF system. But he wants to stay with Minerva. Mari could tell that he is in love with her. She tells him to get dressed and she will give him a history lesson that might dissuade him from caring about Minerva so much. Bright wants Saphira to head to Lhasa with the team in the Regizid. He tells her of Luo and Co. and how they may be connected to Moon Moon in some way. Saphira thinks that this medicine the Light Tribe ranted about, it must be Luo and Co. Bright reminds her these are all rumors. But if they are true, Luo and Co. would want to keep Moon Moon quiet from the public. They might prevent them from handing over Minerva. After banking big on the Ayug during the Grips conflict, Luo Wumin and his company has amassed its own private military. Her Regizid might have to be put to use. It is safe to say then that they are going to be attacked from the front and the back. Since the Guasha and Luce are probably busy taking over Moon Moon, she assumes that it will be the Adalante 3 crew. Meanwhile, on the Adalante 3, as they head to Earth, a Papua-class ship approaches. The man hails the Adalante 3. He refers to Gennaro by her first name. Lisa or Lise? I'm not sure. She is embarrassed. She tells her crew to handle the transfer of goods. They assume she is mad, but as she leaves the bridge, we see that she is glowing. In the hangar, Agos receives the new mobile suits known as the Aggjin. The EMS-13 Aggjin was originally designed for aquatic use like the Aggjin. However, they were overhauled for lunar combat. They have been given a new backpack that also works in space. It is made with a super hard steel alloy. It is not a user-friendly mobile suit, but their mass-to-thrust ratio exceeds that of a Gaza type. It is equipped with 4 diffused beam cannons, 2 megaparticle cannons, and a 4-tube missile launcher. Ansgar yells at Agos, saying that these Humpty Dumpty looking mobile suits aren't going to help them on this operation. Oval comes over and tells him that father has brought them these new mobile suits, and that it is best not to question him. Agos wonders who this father is. Oval tells him that he is retired, but in a world where Zeon is constantly fighting for independence, no one truly retires. He says that if he were to go into battle, knowing that he would die, he would want father with him. Oval says that Mum probably understands this as well. Father, also known as Commander Juan, tells Gennaro that these mobile suits would be great in the hands of a new type, but she tells him their new type sucks. Poor Agos. Gennaro says that Agos came from New Type Labs and was supposedly top of his class of cyber new types. Father says that he will talk to Nanai, who is the director of New Type Labs. If you watched yesterday's Johnny Ryden video, we explained how New Type Labs was defunct after the fall of the Titans. This includes Murasame, Augusta Labs, the Exam Institute which derives from Blue Destiny, and much more. But Nanai was doing new type research on Side 3 for Zeon, all while under EFF rule. Go watch our Shar's Deleted Affair videos to see more about Nanai and her brother. She asks about the church, which is in Palau. Palau is close to Australia, so, you know, lot of orphans. He shows her a picture drawn by one of the children of father and mum. He shows her his dolphin pendant. Meanwhile, Mari shows Jutta the colony drop that Minerva and her people caused, opening up Jutta's eyes to the truth. And that will do it for this episode. Even with new type powers, one living in a Mennonite colony is ignorant of the forces from the outside world. Amuro anticipated a huge attack on the Ra Gills, which is most likely why Saphira was given the Regizid. Testing the patience of one's orders seems to be the theme of this episode, as everyone seems to be frustrated with what they must do. Next time, Jutta yells at Minerva for causing genocide. Oval finally figures out who the mole is, and the Adalante 3 meets up with the Ra Gills. But that will do it for now, new types. Remember to never trust the first feeling you get about a person you like. They might have dropped a colony in their past. Peace.